Welcome to the Ray's Room Drift Throw Crochet Along video series, where I'll be guiding you through all of the technical bits of the drift throw pattern. I'll be sharing a new section of the pattern each week on the Craft Life blog at raysroom.co.uk. So in this video, we're going to be looking at row 22, which is our random puff row. The colour change for this one is slightly different to the rest of the throw, but the same as we did in part 1 for our previous puff row. So we get a slip knot on our hook in our new colour, and at the end of the row in our old colour, we've just placed a stitch marker into the loop. And then at this point, instead of turning our work and starting from this end, we're actually going to come back to the beginning of this row and start over here. So to get started on this row, we've got our slip knot on our hook, and we're going to place our first stitch, and it's not going into the chain here. It's not going into the first stitch just here. It's going to go into the next stitch along. So you're working into the second stitch along to start this row, and we're going to go straight in with a double crochet and work another double crochet into each of the next few stitches. Now, as the pattern explains, this is the row where I'm encouraging you to have a little bit of fun, be a little bit maverick, and freestyle your way along this row. So I'm not giving you set numbers. You're just going to work a few double crochets and then every so often add in a puff. Now, you will have worked lots of puffs on row 7, and you're going to work them the same as that, where we yarn over, pop our hook in, hook the yarn and pull it through to the front, and we do that 5 times before we then yarn over and pull through all the loops that are on our hook. Then go in for a few more double crochet and place another puff. Now, to vary the texture that you're creating with each puff, you can vary the number of yarn over pull throughs that you do on each puff, and you can randomly choose between 3, 4 or 5. So with this one here, you can see I've just done 1, 2, 3, and I'm just going to pull through all of them. So that one was done with 3, so that one will come up a bit smaller, and then I'm going to work another few double crochets and then in for another puff stitch, and this time I'm working 4 yarn over pull throughs, and then yarn over pull through all of them, and for that you'll get a more medium-sized puff. So 5 yarn overs, you'll get a large puff, 4 yarn overs and you'll get a medium puff, and 3 yarn overs and you'll get a smaller puff. And each time you've worked a random puff, you're then going to put a random number of double crochets in between. And you can vary your number of double crochets in between, anything between 2 double crochets up to 12 double crochets. And if you have a little look at the front of your work, you can see those puffs come up on the other side of where you're working, and you've got these different sized puffs. So you want to finish off that row with at least a few double crochets. You don't want to put a puff right on the end, and you're going to work your double crochets right up to that last stitch that's got the loop in it at the top there. So there's the loop, then this is the last stitch we're going to work a double crochet into. And then at that point then, you can just cut your yarn and fasten off that colour. And now we're ready to work on our next row, which is where we're going to need to take our stitch marker out and come back to where we popped that stitch marker in. So we're going to take that stitch marker out and pop your hook back in at the end of row 21 there. And now you're going to turn your work, and then we can create a chain of 3, which is going to take us up to now start on row 23, where we're going to work a half treble crochet into the top of the last double crochet that we worked here on row 22. And then for this row, we're just going to want 1 half treble for every double crochet or puff stitch that we've worked in the row below. So you're just working your way along, making sure you're doing 1 half treble crochet into every double crochet from the row below. And then when you come to a puff stitch, you're going to do the same. You're just going to work a half treble crochet into the top of that puff stitch, and just keep on working your way along until you come to the end of the row. And once we've made it to the end of that row, we're going to come to work a half treble crochet into the last double crochet that we come to. So the first one we would have worked in that row. And we want a half treble crochet into the top of that one there. And then we should have 1 stitch left from row 21, which we're going to work a treble crochet down into. So the last stitch of this row is a treble crochet, and it's worked down into row 21, not 22. And that's it. Don't forget to hit follow if you're not following already. Save this video so that it's easier to get back to later. And for further help and support with the pattern, you can join the Raise Room Crafters Facebook group or the Raise Room WhatsApp community. Let me know in the comments if you found this helpful, if you've got any questions at all, and I'll see you on the next one.